back to Game On. This is the fourth Morning Espresso Shot afternoon edition. I'm your host, Will, here to bring you the latest and greatest going on in the sports world. Here's what we got planned for the stream today. We're going to recap a little bit of the college football games that are going on right now because some interesting outcomes so far. We've currently got Missouri looking to pull off a miracle comeback. Alabama was up 10 with just a couple minutes left in the game, and now they're only up 3. Missouri's got the ball 43 seconds and driving. So we'll take a look at some of that. We got to talk about the baseball game last night. 15 innings between the Mariners and the Tigers. I stayed up way too late watching that game, but it was a lot of fun. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got NFL. We'll be diving into the Trench Report. That's what I'm planning on doing. We're going to dive into the Trench Report, and then at 1 o'clock here, 1 o'clock Pacific, 4 Eastern, in about 25 minutes or so, Ben from the Renegades World Highlight League is going to be joining us for a little interview. Check in with him, see what's going on with the Renegades. Why are they struggling? What's up, Mizzy Man? How we doing? The boys will be with me tomorrow. Am I freezing up there a little bit? Let me see. No, there we go. Oh, look, they're great. I don't know what's going on. My internet says it's fine. No, the boys will be with me tomorrow for the NFL Wise Guy Roundtable, 5 a.m. Pacific. We'll be covering everything there. Just me solo today. You guys were right about the Eagles versus Giants. I told you, man. I told you. We had an Eagles fan that was worried about the Giants and overlooking the Broncos. And boy, man, Beardo was happy. What up, Mark? How we doing? I gotta see how this looks. Hold on. On my end, it looks like I'm really, really laggy. Hold on. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, I do look laggy, huh? I don't know why that is. I'm hardwired in. I don't know. It might be a StreamYard thing. Might just be a StreamYard thing. I'm like, Eagles worried about the Giants. Wild. Yeah, dude, that was a wild game. Looks like it's getting better. I'm going to, hold on, guys. Hang out right there. I'm going to exit out of StreamYard, come right back. Be 20 seconds. Looks to definitely be a StreamYard thing. Looks a little bit better. There we go. Not as laggy. I don't know. You guys let me know if it gets all weird. But that looks to have helped. Yeah, StreamYard's running really slow for me. Oh, now it says my internet connection is really low. How? Makes no sense. I'm hardwired directly in. Anyways. CTE scat for 3 TDs. You love to see it. Dude, I bet on the wrong running back. I had Barkley to score 2 TDs. I picked the wrong running back. But I was excited for it because I stayed away from that game. Other than that Saquon Barkley bet, I had I was happy because survivor picks. A lot of survivors and second chance survivors were out because they took the Eagles, man. So it's scary taking those division games on the road, man. Short week division on the road. I don't blame anyone for it. But is what it is. I hope this thing doesn't get all funky on me, especially since I got Ben coming in. Ooh, I can't even. Oh, well. We're just going to pray that it starts working better. Let's see. Do my sounds work fine? Hey! Come on, man. Yeah. Anyways, glad you guys are here. Let's hang out. Let's have a good time. Let's check in on what's going on in college football right now. Hurts missed deep balls in back-to-back games. Yeah, the Eagles don't know like what they want to be offensively. You would think they would just want to run the ball, but they clearly have some problems. That I don't know how. I mean, Saquon starts off the game with his 2 massive runs, and I get, maybe he was tired. He came out and give him a break, fine. But when it was 3rd and 12, I was like, they should just hand it off to Saquon. You can't convince me they wouldn't have picked up the first down there. The way that guy was running on the first drive, but after that, it was just the run game was gone. What up, Brandon? How we doing? Let's take a look at some of these college football games right now, though. My Cougs were keeping it scrappy. They were being a little feisty, but doing what my Cougs do, letting me down. Although they're going to cover the game, but gave me hope. That would have been epic if we would have knocked off Ole Miss. Ole Miss clearly in a letdown spot here, looking on to Georgia next week. Ohio State's handling Illinois. Pittsburgh, look at that. Pitt's got the ball, and they're up 3 on Florida State. Florida State was a 10.5-point favorite. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. A couple of the other games. Let's go recap the ones that have finished up. Alabama ended up hanging on, beating Missouri 27-24. That line was fishy, and it landed right on the number. That's crazy. A lot of good college prospects facing off today. That's right. Oh, so you were at the Mariners game the other day, last night? No, I saw your comment on X. My buddies were at the game, and he sent us that. And I go, I'm totally stealing this video. It was a joke between us. No, I wasn't there, but I was up watching it. I had a couple of friends there, though. Got their money's worth, dude. It was crazy. It's a wild game. You know what was crazy about that game? Here, let's just go over that real quick. We'll talk about that. So the Mariners last night, if you guys haven't heard, they're moving on to ALCS. They defeat the Tigers 3-2 in the 15th inning. These guys in extra innings, it kept looking like this game was over, but no one wanted to drive a run in. And, yeah, I know it would have been an epic game to be at, but my buddies were at it. They had a blast. Although, you know what kind of sucks is, like, what do? They cut off, like, drinks in the 8th inning or something like that. So you got to go all those extra innings and you can't go get a beer. Oh, that would be rough. Another thing, too, with this game, another reason why I like being on the West Coast, like, yeah, this game it almost ended 10 p.m. at night here. Started at 5. That means if you're, I believe, isn't Detroit East Coast? Or Eastern time zone, sorry, not East Coast, but Eastern time zone. That means if you're a Detroit fan, you had to stay up till damn near 1 a.m. just to watch your team lose. That would drive me wild. That's why I don't live on the East Coast. But Mariners get it done. It was a really good game. It looked both teams made pitching mistakes. I mean, Tariq Skubal's out there dealing, and they decided to pull him, and they ended up giving up runs. George Kirby was freaking striking out left, right, and center, along with Tariq Skubal was as well for the Tigers. But they pulled Kirby early, and then all of a sudden the Tigers hit a 2-run home run. It's like, dude, you guys, I know it's playoff baseball, but just when your ace is out there dealing, let him deal. Who cares? Okay, fine. He's got a guy on second. Big deal. Yeah, it happens. I mean, we were in the 5th inning. It's not like I know if we were in like the 7th or 8th inning, okay, I could see it, but like let these guys go. But you know what was funny about that? We're sitting there watching the game, and my son is like a catcher with 60 home runs is crazy. Both catchers played out of their mind yesterday. It was wild. What was funny is my son, 3-year-old, so we're going to my in-laws for my mother-in-law's birthday party, and they've been asking to go, and all day yesterday, can we go to Pop and Tutus? That's my in-laws. Can we go to Pop and Tutus? And last night we're watching the game, and it's like, I don't know what inning it is or whatever. It's like 8 o'clock or something like that. And he keeps asking. I go, hey, bud, if this guy hits a home run right here, we'll go to Pop and Tutus. And he's like, okay. And sure as shit, Carpenter hit a home run. And I go, my wife looks at me. She's like, what the fuck? Luckily, he's 3 and didn't really fully understand what the bet was. But just goes to show, never bet a kid something like that, because something crazy will happen. Penn State blocked punt. Oh, God, Penn State falling apart again. Damn. But no, that was a good game last night. A really good game last night. And the Mariners, dude, they ended up having Luis Castillo, their ace, come in and finish out the game for them. But they burned through so many pitchers. I haven't looked at the odds yet. We can pull it up right now, but I gotta imagine tomorrow night, because they have to play Sunday night against the Blue Jays in Toronto, so they gotta get on bird, not only fly across the country, but then go across the border up north. And I don't know they have a good bullpen. Don't get me wrong, they have a good bullpen, but after that very emotional game, yeah. Look at this, Blue Jays minus 160. They should be a minus 160. There might be value. This could be one of those weird ones, though, where everyone's like, oh, the Mariners used up all their arms. What are they going to do? This might be a weird random game where the Mariners win game one, and then you want to fade them because they've got some arms left. Now, granted, some of these guys that came in only pitched like an inning, but, still, it was a very high-intense situation, very emotional. My buddy said there was everyone in his section were crying after the win, and I'm like, that's a little gay. That's a little gay. You know what I mean? But right now, it looks like we've got Gossman going up against Miller for the Mariners. I think there could be value on Seattle in that game one, like I said. But as we get deeper into that series, got to worry about the Mariners' arms there after last night. But good, hell of a game. Longest, I think they said it was the longest game in postseason history. 15 innings. Sure hope so. That was the longest. That was wild. Wow. My wife left to go get my daughter she had to pick my daughter up from the football game. They had to go to Walmart to get something for her volleyball stuff. They went and got ice cream, and then they came back, and when she walked through the door, she's like, the game's still on? I go, yeah. Yeah, because she was leaving when it was going into the ninth, tied. But yeah, here's the video that I posted that my buddy sent me that I claimed was mine. Where are we at? Right here. Cool atmosphere. I tell you what, that's why you want home field, man. That place was rocking all night. That's why you want home field, extra innings in a closeout game. Extra innings in a closeout game. But yeah, good win there by the Mariners. Congratulations. This was that homer I was telling you about that I told my son, hey, if this guy hits a home run here, we'll go to popping 2-2s.
Carpenter swings and sends one out towards right center field.
Oh my God. And the Mariners just brought that guy in too. There was so many that were hit deep to the warning track.
Rodriguez all the way back.
This one made it out, but a lot of them didn't. But that's because Mariners Park is not a hitter's park.
At the track, this ball's gone.
Right there, and that's top of the sixth. That's when they take a 2-1 lead there. Mariners end up tying it up. Mariners had a chance, so many chances to win that before going to extras too. Just couldn't do it. Oh, check this out. Cal Riley. Both catchers had an insane throw out on a steal.
There he goes.
The Blue Jays guy did it in the in extra innings. It was crazy.
Raleigh's throw down to second. Tag not there.
Okay, he said he's safe, but watch this. That was a dart. Watch this. They review it. Right on the money. Right on the money. Look at that. He out. You couldn't throw it better than that. Just insane. Insane. Hell of a game, though. Hell of a game. But yeah, and then tonight, of course, since we're talking baseball, might as well cover tonight real quick. Doesn't get much clearer than that. Yeah, dude, it was. And you know what's crazy is, like I was saying, the Blue Jays catcher had the same exact throw in extras. I think it was the 13th inning or something. Cubs and Brewers tonight. Milwaukee minus 150 home favorites. Cubbies plus 125. McGill versus Pomeranz. I don't know. Cubbies trying to become the 11th team all time after going down 2-0 to come back in a 5-game series in MLB history. So we'll see if they can get it done. That game will start at 5 p.m. tonight Pacific. Let's see what the sharp action stuff is on this. Sharp money on the Cubbies I'll tell you what's sharp about the Cubbies. Look at this. Here's why you should consider taking the Cubs. Not only because they're, they're plus money, but Trent. If you know who Trent is, you want to fade Trent. He says Brewers money line is a 10-unit mortal mega max. All this guy does is lose his mortal mega maxes. So if you're a Cubs fan, you should be feeling pretty good about yourself tonight. It doesn't usually work out well for Trent. But yeah, man, that's what we got going on in baseball. Hopefully we don't get another 15 anyone tonight. That was wild. Let's check on these scores real quick. Oh, look at that. My Cougs. Cougs just scored a touchdown. We're only down 3. 2:43 left. Don't give us a chance. Don't give us. This is what they do. They always rope me back in. They have me believing. I would love to see an upset. Love to see an upset. Because then I will bet heavily against my Cougars next week. I don't even know who we play. We probably play some nobody. We play. Oh no, we're at Virginia. Definitely would bet against my Cougs against Virginia. I would do it even if we lose this game. Spread was 33. I know. I told everyone to lay it with Ole Miss. What a mistake. I didn't think Ole Miss would, even if they were looking past the Cougs, I didn't think they'd play this poorly. Ugh. Oh, that's football though for you. Let's see. Notre Dame's up 7-0 on NC State. Iowa State, Colorado. We're about to have a couple good games kick off here too. Indiana, Oregon's going at it. Oh, look at this. Indiana, Oregon. Check this out. We got to watch this. We got to watch this together. I'm probably going to get hit on YouTube for this. I don't even care. Did you guys see this?
To be all the way here in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up routine, gratitude, truly. It's nice to say, hey.
This is at, by the way, 6 a.m. local time. Pat definitely had his coffee. Watch how wild this is about to get. And I apologize in advance. I'm going to try to pause it as much as possible just because YouTube will pull down the stream if I don't. But here we go. Watch. He stands up. Watch this.
Now Oregon.
6 a.m., dude.
And your football team so sweet.
It's 6.5 hours before kickoff.
You know you make me want to put my hands up and kick my heels up and.
You know what makes it even funnier? They got Nick Saban, like one of the most serious guys on the planet, next to Pat McAfee. It's a genius to pair those two up. A genius move. What up, supporting, by the way? Just a genius move here.
A little bit something now. A little bit something now. A little bit something now. A little bit something now.
Crowd's into it, baby. The crowd's all there.
A little bit something now. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder now. A little bit louder. Yeah. We're shouting all damn day. Animal House, incredible movie. Obviously set here. And that's what Austin is. That's what you think.
Fucking wild, dude. Oh my god, we had that, and then check this out. The worst kick of all time. Nick Saban holding the ball, by the way. You ready for this? This is for like $250,000 and a car, so $300,000. You ready for this?
Luca has great lettuce. He has a great mustache.
Look at him. Look at him hyping this dude up.
We have a great story. This guy sucks. Holy hell. We're going to give him another. This guy's got the worst kick of all time.
He just goes, this guy sucks. Watch this, dude. He does, like, it's like he's never kicked a football before. You would think if you knew you were, now I don't know how the selection process goes. I don't know if you just randomly get picked out of the crowd, but you would think if you knew you were going to get picked for this, you'd at least practice with you. I mean, that thing never had it. It barely even got off the ground. And then I love Pat. Pat right afterwards. Listen.
This guy sucks. Holy hell. We're going to give him
I'm going to clip that. This guy's, every time we have a bad pick on the show, I'm just going to play this part right here. I'm going to play this part right here.
Holy hell. We're going to give him another. Sucks. Holy hell. Great story. This guy sucks.
I'm going to clip that part. But this guy sucks. Dude, yeah, he somehow front kicked it with his heel. His second chance, they always get a second chance at this, was even worse. He I don't have it pulled up, but his second chance, he loops around this way and makes contact over here and kicks it that way, up in those trees. He didn't even try to just toe kick it or something, you know what I mean? Try to just toe kick it.
Lettuce. He has a great mustache. We have a great story. This guy sucks.
Poor dude. Dude, he kind of looks like Jalen Hurts with parted hair. What up, grass guy? How we doing? Yeah. Yeah, that is wild. That's wild, but that's going to be a good game. Indiana's up 3-0 right now. Looking forward to that. Oklahoma, John Mateer is playing 3 for 5 already, 45 yards. OU starts off the game with a field goal, so Texas defense holds up there. We'll see how that ends up going. Let's see. Ohio State got it done. Pitt ended up upsetting Florida State. That was a shock. Florida State 10.5-point favorites there. Bama 27-24. Like I said earlier, UCLA might be back. What is this? 2 wins in a row? 7.5-point dogs, and they win 38-13. Now Michigan State ain't good, but I mean, oh my God. SMU manhandles Stanford. Cincinnati wins but doesn't cover because UCF scores at the very end. Houston blows out Oklahoma State. No shock there. That's what we got football right now. How are my Cougs doing? God, we gotta give us the ball back. I dare you to give us the ball back. Give us a chance. Give us a chance. I dare you. We'll throw a pick 6 like you've never seen. Yes, that's right. Okay, for $250K and a car, I'd probably miss, but come on, at least get in there. Yeah, at least make it respectable. Put it in the air, and if it comes short, if it falls short, all right, you're not a kicker. But this dude was on Madden where you just angling it full left and you just smash it was embarrassing. This guy sucks. Oh my goodness. That was hilarious. Oh, hey, look who's here.
Just in the nick of time. What's up, fellas?
Just in the nick of time. How we doing, Ben?
How you doing, Will? What's up?
Not much. We were just have you watched any college football today?
I just got done checking some of the scores, and yeah, FSU shit the bed.
Yeah, man, that was embarrassing. But check this out real quick. So you know how Pat McAfee, they have guys that try to do try to make a kick for
for money.
This is for 250. Huh?
For money, yeah, they try to make the kick
for money.
right?
Yeah, for money. Yeah, watch this. This is the most embarrassing kick of all time.
He has a great mustache. We have a great story.
Don't tell me he kicks Nick Saban.
Holy hell.
No, he didn't kick. He kicked it right off into the it didn't even get off the ground. But Pat's reaction afterwards just rips into this dude.
We have a great story. This guy sucks.
Here's my problem with stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
The people who pick these people go for the ones that look the least athletic.
Mm-hmm.
They will look in the crowd and they look. Yeah, that's what. Because there's people who go and live for moments like this who will practice, hoping that they get picked. And they'll take one look at somebody like that, and the crowd be like, no, because you have an actual chance to like make it. They want somebody that will look like they're not gonna know what the hell they're doing.
You know what's crazy though is like I feel like every week so far this year the guys made it either on the first or second try, and I'm like, man, dude, they're losing money every week, and finally we had one that was just embarrassing.
When I've seen them, most of the time they've missed, and then that's why it's such a big shock when they actually make. It's like gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll pick like one or two cats that'll win, but for the most part, they are gonna pick people who most of the time are not gonna make the kick or not gonna make the shot.
But at least like make it respectable. Get it in the air, you know.
You seen like the halftime Dr. Pepper whatever for like 250. Same cop. They always pick these scrawny, they don't pick like the jock frat boy. I want to see Chad 230 pounds on steroids.
Yeah.
Having to make those throws. Because he gonna make them throws.
I want to see the most hammered guy in the crowd get picked. And then just go up. That'd be funny.
Right.
Anyways, how you doing? How was the off season?
The off season was good. You know, I got to rest up. Obviously, that's good. It was the first time we had won a championship in the spring, so that kind of like took a little bit of the pressure off, if you want to say, going into this season. But seeing how bad we're doing, maybe that wasn't such a good thing, because for the first time, we lost 3 game days in a row, and we've lost 4 out of the last 5, with 1 tie, thankfully. Now some of them have been close. It could have been 2 ties, but still, we're not. The season started off real good. We had 2 real dominant wins, and then. So we gotta like kind of right the ship, you know.
Yeah,
things up.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Yeah, you guys started off with two wins, defending champs, looking great, and then it started, I believe, with that loss against the Devils, like a 5-1 loss against the Devils, who have been struggling themselves. And I was like, whoa, what happened here? And then
So I think we. No, you're right, because that was the day that Nicholas beat Goicheri in singles. Yeah, so we lost to them, then we tied them.
Yep.
So, but that loss, that game day loss, the first one with the Devil, we could have tied them on back-to-back game days, but that first one we didn't know what hit us, and then we ended up tying them when we played them a couple days later. So yeah, we're not doing. I mean, you know, the standings speak for themselves. You see, we're not doing too well, but thankfully. No, it's still early in the season. Cyclones are doing real well, and that's good for them, because for the past couple seasons they haven't been doing well. I think right now the Chargers look the best. I think the Chargers are the good team. The Warriors a little bit of a surprise, and the Fireballs are, you know, they'll be all right. So we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks. We still got time to right the ship, and we need to do that.
Yeah, so I get my first question for you is like, how do you guys go about that? Is it getting a little bit more time on the court to get in sync together, or is it just how highlight goes? Like every other sport, you have your ups and downs. I mean, like you said, it's a long season left. You guys are currently out of the playoff picture, but yet in the betting market, you guys are still favored to win the championship this fall. And I mean, that has to do with, because 1, you guys are coming off of, you know, the championship in the spring, and 2, you got Go Share, and you guys are a solid team, played together for a long time. But what's the first step to turning it around?
I think it's probably a mix of everything you just said. Probably get a little bit more practice time. I think we'll probably make some adjustments, maybe flip some people around from front to back to front. And also maybe just some of these matchups, because it's not like every 1 to 6 is gonna be a premier team. Every team has one team that's probably like, you look at, they like stick out, okay, that's the team to feed off of, and one team that's kind of like 50-50, and then we'll probably have 2 teams that are like, okay, that's their strong team. So maybe some of the matchups just early on with the teams that we playing just didn't go in our favor. That definitely could be it. But regardless, just because of who we've been, you never expect to lose 3 game days in a row. Like if you get like one, obviously everybody can drop one or two, okay, but to lose 3 game days in a row and then to lose 4 out of the last 5 with only 1 tie that's surprising. It's not what definitely we expected. It's not what we wanted, obviously, but I believe we'll get the shit right. I believe we'll get the shit right.
How's team morale right now? Is anyone panicking, or is everyone kind of in agreement? Like, hey, listen, little rough spot right here, but we'll turn it around.
I mean, ain't nobody happy, but nobody's panicking. That's just because that's not gonna help you. It's just a panic because again, it's not like you could. All right, well, we'll just make a trade, but we can't do that. We got who we got. This is who we gotta play with. So there's just no, the panic is not gonna help you. So yeah, we not panicking. We're not panicking.
How's do you guys have any injuries you're dealing with right now, or is this just bad highlight or just bad matchups, like you said?
It's just bad. It's bad highlight and bad matchups. It's just not. We just have not. It's just real simple. We just not playing to what we normally know we are capable of playing. That's just plain and simple. We're just not doing it. And that's I believe one of the times you had me on here, I talked about this in other sports. Like you can, all the teams that lost today or will lose today, they can go back on the film and clean some things up. Highlight's not one of those sports, because of the fact that when you're playing, your form or your postura, as what they call it, dictates so much of your ability to actually play on the court. So you may want all day long in your mind to play harder, throw harder, put more effort in. But if you don't have a good posture to throw the ball, to the same problems. If you can't throw straight, it's a saying in highlight. If I can throw it to you, I can throw it away from you. If I can't really throw it, to you, it's going to be 50-50 where the ball goes. So if you have a problem doing that, you're going to run into the same thing. Eventually, you're going to throw yourself out of a point. Eventually, you're going to throw your opponent into a point, and you're going to get frustrated and end up losing. So, it's yes, we'll, like I said, we'll obviously change some things around, but overall, and that's also what's going to keep us in it. We know that from top to bottom, we all don't have any bad postures. We all don't have any glaring like, okay, this is just not going. We don't have that. So we just gotta, kind of like mentally tighten up a little bit. We don't need to like go out there and try to, we're not going to win it all in the next game day, but the next time we play, I believe it's on Wednesday. Win that game day. Put our best forward to win that game day. Take it point by point, throw the ball straight, keep it on the side wall, and take it from there. That's what we can do.
Who's the leader that everyone turns to? The guy, like right now. I know Go Sherry's the best guy on the team, but who's the guy? Is it him? Is it you? Is it someone else that's, hey, I'm going to rally you guys on game day. Like, let's get pumped up. Who's the guy that everyone turns to in this situation?
I mean, I don't want to blow smoke up my own ass, but I'm usually the one that puts in the group chat. All right, we all right, or hey, let's clean this shit up. I'm usually that guy. Udonis, he threw something in it. Honestly, I was so mad I didn't even read it. I just saw the first part where he just said tough night, fellas. Udonis will throw some stuff here and there. Goicheri, just because of like the language barrier, he won't. What I think he'll do is with the other guys that speak Basque, he'll say to them directly in Basque because they can. It won't. What he can more thoroughly explain what his points are in Basque to another Basque person. It's nothing gonna get lost in translation if a Basque do speak it to another Basque. So I'm sure when he talks to John and Migarena, I'm sure he says something to them like, hey, he'll say something to them in Basque. But in the group chat, I'm usually the one that'll put something in the group chat like, hey, whoop-de-whoop, this is what we got to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm usually that guy.
Okay. How are every season you guys have some new guys in the league. How are they doing? Do you guys have any on your team, or have you been watching some of the other guys on the other teams? I know the Devils have a couple guys.
Yeah, we don't have none on our team. You got Benetrix, you got Echeberry, you got Unda, and am I missing somebody?
That sounds
Feel
about
like
right.
I'm missing somebody, but all those guys have been impressive. I think Unda is the one that plays with the most passion, that plays probably the hardest. I think Benetrix is the best out of them. I think he's a very 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 good player. I mean, he just whooped my ass in singles, and normally when I play singles, even if I don't win, I never feel like out of the game, and I just didn't know what he was doing. I mean, he beat me 6-2, 6-0. I think he's a kind of like an X factor for that Devils team because he's definitely a guy that's at the fold that could probably play 3 and maybe even in the 2. That's how good he's been, and that's how quickly he's picked up. He reminds me a lot of Oleron. When Oleron came in, the learning curve to learn the court wasn't that big for him. And the same thing with Benetrix. Like, it's every time he goes out there, you can tell he plays just that much more fluid, which lets you know he's understanding the bounces of the court. He's understanding how the court plays as far as the ball coming out off the back wall for Robotti. Like, he's picking up the little subtle shit, the little nuance shit on the court every time he goes out there. So I think he's the best, but is the one that has the most like pride when he plays, because he's all go like a damn bull in the china shop every time he goes out there.
Benny came on a couple of weeks ago and said very similar things about Echeberry. I believe that's who it was. Maybe it was Benetrix, but I think it's Echeberry because that's who he partners up with. Said very similar, picking things up fast, looks good. Said wouldn't be surprised in a couple of years if he ends up being the best highlight player in the league. Maybe it was Benetrix.
Okay. I mean, listen. That's on his team. He knows him better than I do. As an outsider looking in and having played them all, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
But listen, you got to defer to the guy who actually sees him on a day in and day out basis.
Maybe he's just being a really good teammate.
no disrespect to Echeberry at all. He definitely played, but for me, I feel like Benetrix, how he's been playing on the court, a little bit better.
Maybe it was Benetrix. I could be getting my guys mixed up and whatnot. I mean, you would know. I mean, you play with the best player every single week. You know, so
right. So
the level to look at. You know,
if I was to say who would be closer to me, Echeberry or Benetrix, I would definitely say Benetrix.
Okay, maybe it was Benetrix then. Maybe I'm getting my names mixed up there. How are you liking the new schedule this year? It seems like every season there's a new schedule, but I'm loving the Tuesday through Friday.
I mean,
as a fan,
yeah, as a fan, you probably like it. Not so much. I'm much more. I mean, I wish they would go to a schedule we had just like a matinee and an evening, like how they do it for the playoffs, and do it that way. Yeah, I'm not too. I'm a play, but I'm not too much of a fan of this new schedule. But that's also because it affects Pelota. That's why. So it affects Pelota. But you know, I'm gonna go out there and play whatever the schedule is, because it's changed in the past 4 seasons. The schedule has changed 3 or 4 different times. So it's not like it's a deal breaker, nothing. But if I'm not that big of a fan of the schedule.
I do think they got the change they made last season to the point schedule. I think that actually was smart, and like we're seeing with you guys, you're not out of it, right? You're still in the mix. Whereas I think it was the first season that we covered it, you guys like halfway through the season ran away with that points. It was like there's like you were in the playoffs, you were fine, but I like this where everyone's in the mix all the way through.
I think that's why they changed it, because like you said, I remember that season. It wasn't. I think it was even more than we had already locked up. We had locked up a playoff spot, and we couldn't drop no lower than 2. So at that point, you're just like, all right, let's try to get some pretty much warm up in before the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. So with this now, where everything is a point instead of having the doubles be a point and a half, that does, you know, keep it tighter for the whole season. So and obviously we'll benefit because if it was the other way around, we'd be in some hot shit right now. So yeah, with how they do it now with the singles and the doubles both equaling out, but then I forget because I know there's a tiebreaker, and I don't remember if it's games won or if it's sets won. It's one of those two.
I think it goes. I think if you're tied on games, and I think it goes sets one is the next tiebreaker, if I remember correctly from last season. But I mean, just getting 1 point, getting 1 point for the match victory instead of getting sometimes you could win 8-0 and you're up 8 points. You know what I mean? Like, I like that for the standings wise. But hey, well, good luck the rest of the season. We'll be rooting you on. Looking forward. I know you guys are going to turn it around here at some point. Hell, it might even.
We got no choice. We have to.
Yeah, and I just want to, no pressure, but I'm just saying every time someone comes on this show, they usually play pretty good the next week. That's all I'm saying. So I'm throwing a little good luck your way.
Yeah, we need it. Maybe let's see what happens, man. Maybe give us some of that good mojo with. So, let's hopefully we'll take that going into Wednesday.
All right, man. Thank you for taking some time with me this afternoon, and good luck next week.
Always, man. I appreciate you guys having.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, Will.
Later. That's awesome. Good having Ben. Good having him in there. Catching up on a little highlight. You can follow the World Highlight League. Links to all their stuff in the description of this. You can watch them on their YouTube channel Tuesday through Friday. ESPN 3, FUBO TV. All that and more is links in the description of the stream. Good having them in here. Good having them in here. How we doing, Mont? How you doing, buddy? Emily, thank you. I saw you earlier. Emily over on the YouTube side of things says happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you. My Cougs didn't do it. Told you guys. They got the ball back. They had a chance. They lost. Like, I should be happy that it was respectable, that we were 33-point dogs and we only lost by 3. I'm not. I'm not. Let's check in on the scores real quick. Notre Dame 7-0 still over NC State. App State up on Georgia State. Look at that. Look at that. Oregon, I have a feeling, they're just going to score touchdowns. And they already have 7-3. Up 7-3 on Indiana. Texas got the ball right now. 4th and 10 on their own 20. God, I want to watch that game. I'll probably turn it on after this stream, but they're going to be punting the ball back to Oklahoma. Who's up 3-0. What's up, Muslim Moss? Where's Beardo? He picked against Giants, right? Beardo will be on tomorrow. He will be with me tomorrow for the morning stream tomorrow, the Wise Guy Roundtable. And he did pick against the Giants, but he did have me place a bet for him for the Giants on the spread. I tried to convince him to take Giants money line once Jalen Carter got ruled out. He was not optimistic about his Giants, so he just took the points. He cashed a nice little winner there for himself. But they'll be on his Giants, man. Really helped me out with some survivor pools, knocking out other people that picked the Eagles. The Eagles don't know who they are right now. They don't know what they want to be on offense. And defensively, if Jalen Carter's out, this is 2 games now that we've seen. I mean, he got he's basically out of the Cowboy game to start the season because he got ejected the first play. And we've seen their defense not be the defense of last year. So it's interesting. Folsom Locked, I'm glad they kept it close. Just means next week they won't be overlooked again, unfortunately. Who, the Cougs? Or who are we talking about? My Cougs? My Cougs are bet against the Cougs next week. We're probably staying out in the East Coast. I would imagine we're at Virginia next week. Virginia's looking pretty good. But everyone's going to be like, hey, the Cougs play pretty scrappy. Maybe they'll play pretty good against Virginia. Probably not. I think it says more about Ole Miss than it does with Cougs. They have Georgia next week, so they clearly were looking ahead, and I don't blame them. But I'm just a bitter Coug fan, I don't get my hopes up anymore, even though they somehow always trick me into getting my hopes back up. I always get them up, and then they let me down. Penn State's up 7-3 on Northwestern. Nebraska 7-0 on Maryland. Wake Forest handling Oregon State as expected. That's where we're at there. You guys want to take a look at the trench report? I know I talk about this a lot, but this week's trench report is kind of interesting. There's really no good, like there's only 2 A+ ratings differentials. So what this does for you that haven't heard about it, this is from Scott Seidenberg over on betterdays.com, bettorday.com. You can sign up for free and get access to this. Last week, this report, if you took the top 5 picks, it went 4-1 straight up and ATS, with 3 of those being underdogs outright winning, like Denver. Denver was one of the ones. That's why I like Denver last week. The only loss on this one was Arizona. And look how much fluky shit had to happen in that game for it to lose. Starting with that fumble on the goal line and then just that crazy comeback by the Titans. If he doesn't fumble out let go of the ball early on the goal line there and gets a touchdown, they go up 28-6. They cover that game. There's only 12 minutes left in the game at that point. Bulls are going to go watch them play Toledo, though. Looking forward to that. Yeah. The Cougs are fun. They're interesting. They may suck, but they're always pretty interesting. That's fun going to Coug games. So I'm glad you're able to go see them against Toledo. That'd be cool. When is that? When did we play Toledo? So we're out at, let me see. We're out at Virginia next week. We're home against Toledo. Ooh, that's a home game. A little noon 30 kick. You're going to be in the Palouse, huh? There you go. I might try to go down for one of these games. Maybe the Oregon State game to end the season. Not the first one, but the one where we're home. Maybe I'll try to go down there for that one. Right after Thanksgiving. 3:30 kick. That might not be bad. God, we got an embarrassing schedule. Are we going to get to 6 wins? So we should beat Toledo. I would hope we beat Louisiana Tech at home. James Madison. It might come down to we have to beat Oregon State once. If we beat them Oregon State twice, we for sure should be bowl eligible. We'll see, though. We'll see. But the trench report. So last couple weeks, it's gone. What has it gone? 11-2 straight up. 10-3 ATS. Just following this trench report. And what it does, it just looks at the big boys. It takes the metrics of PFF grades, ESPN win rate percentage, and NFL Next Gen stats, combines them all into one to tell you, just looking at the offensive lines and defensive lines, how does Denver's pass protection and run blocking go pair up against the Jets' defensive pass rush and run defense? And then it takes the Jets, for example, pass protection and run blocking against the Broncos. And this is one of the A+ games. Gonna go watch them play Toledo. Looking for yeah, there we go. Derp, what up, dude? He said we won 29-28. What a freaking nail biter, dude! Congratulations, Derp. That is awesome. Happy for you guys. Good win there. But so one of the grades and the mismatches this week is the Broncos versus Jets. Some of these, are like not shocking, right? Like the last week, one of the picks was the Lions against the Bengals. Not a shocker there. But I mean, ATS wise, it's important. Broncos over the Jets, huge matchup, grade A here. So I will be all over Denver on this one, laying it against the Jets. Jets are just awful, dude. I got other reasons why I don't like the Jets. I mean, you got an 0-5 team, rookie head coach, going international game. Is Aaron Glenn? They're already talking about moving on from him after his first season. It doesn't sound like he's got the locker room under control. So how are you going to have your guys focused up and dialed in on a big international trip like this? I don't like it. Meanwhile, I know Sean Payton's going to have his boys in line. There ain't going to be no dicking around on this trip. At least not till after the game. The other big mismatch, which makes me so nervous, but I love it. My Patriots against the Saints. Makes me nervous because we're coming off that, big Sunday Night Football win against the Bills. But they actually, according to the trench report, and I'm just going to blindly trust it because it's been doing so well, we match up very strongly against the Saints in the trenches, which should help. And, the Saints are coming off their first win too. So I feel like that kind of negates New England's win as well of them in a letdown spot there. But the top 5 overall mismatches, according to this report, remember, this first 2 were the only A-graded ones. So that's Denver and the Patriots. And then Packers over the Bengals. Not a shocker there. Huge mismatch. but I fundamentally cannot play this one. I cannot lay 14 this early in the season. I'm not doing it. Packers come off, and I can't lay 14 with a team that hasn't won a game in a month. Remember, the Packers haven't won a game since week 2. They lost week 3 against the Browns. Then they tied the Cowboys. Then they had a bye. So it's been about a month since this team has won a game. I can't do it. If you want to do it, the Trench Report says do it. This is one of the times I'm not fading the Trench Report, but I'm not going to blindly trust it. So I will not be playing that. I will substitute something else in there instead. I'm probably going to substitute the Detroit Lions. They are the biggest underdog of the week. That is actually has a favorable, nothing crazy. I think it's like a C. Where is it? C. They have about 12.9 points of edge against the Chiefs. But they are the highest rated underdog to actually potentially pull off an upset there, according to this report. Another one that they like, number 4, is the Commanders over Chicago. I was going back and forth on this one. And initially, I kind of like the Bears, and I read through the Trench Report, and I started looking through things, and I love the Commanders laying the 4.5 this week, so I will be trusting the Trench Report on this one. Ryan's going to hate that when I'm on Sports Wars, but Commanders, they have an edge over the Bears. They're at home over the Bears, too. The Bears have been a real fluky team. They've overperformed on net expected third down plays. So on offense, when it's third down, they've been completing those third downs at a higher rate than what they should be. And then also defensively, they've been stopping the other team on third down more than they should be. Now, maybe that just continues. Who knows? But I'm guessing that things are going to come back to norm and come back to the median and even out. That plus the Trench Report says there's an edge here in the trenches. I'll trust it. I like that. Let's see. What did Derp say? Derp said they scored like 3:20 left to go. It was fourth, 28-21. We drive down, scored with like 1:25 to go, 28-27. Coach calls go for game. We get the 2-point off a sophomore QB sneak with like under a minute. Holy hell. And then we had to stop them one last time. We end up getting the pick. Dude, I love that. I love that it came down. You had to go for 2 and you got it. Coach says go for the win. Big old stones on that, coach. Love it. That's like a Dan Campbell move. Love it. I was hoping Glenn would be a good head coach, but a lot of times successful coordinators don't make it. That's the league, dude. That's the league. Successful coordinators don't always turn out to be good head coaches. They're just better being coordinators. We've seen it time and time again. And sometimes you're average, or some of your best head coaches don't even come from a coordinator. They come from like an assistant or a special teams one, but they end up being a pretty damn good head coach. Just you got to be built a certain way to manage a football team, And then the last one is the Rams over the Ravens. This is the fifth biggest mismatch according to the Trench Report, with the Rams laying 7.5. Now I do trust this one. I love that the Rams are coming off a Thursday night loss against the 49ers, so they'll be focused up. I believe they're heading to London after this game too. Baltimore is a mess. I don't care if Lamar play. Actually, I think Lamar got ruled out. But defensively, they just got so many injuries that the Rams should be focused up here, wanting to get a win here. And I'm going to lay the 7.5 with the Rams. And another thing too is you've got the Ram. What was I going to say about the Rams? Another thing you got to consider with this one though is the weather. It's going to be nasty. There's going to be wind gusts of like some crazy wind and rain and whatnot in this game. So it makes me a little bit nervous because you never know what happens in those kind of games, especially when you're laying 7.5. But I trust the Rams to get it done. And Sean McVay and Stafford have a really good record on the road. So look for the Rams here to be dialed in. Another team that everyone likes that I'm going to stay away from, but I get why people like them. I just can't trust them. Is the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Cleveland Browns. There's really no edge here, and that's because Browns defense is just crazy. But horrible spot for the Browns. Such a Browns thing to do. You go over to London, you start your rookie quarterback for his first career start up against a Brian Flores defense, right? You lose that game. Instead of taking a week off, you fly back, and then you're on the road again in division in Pittsburgh. Cleveland hasn't won in Pittsburgh since 2001 in a regular season game. So now you're throwing your rookie quarterback into a hostile environment. I can't. I wanted to get cute and take the points with the Browns. I can't do it. But I don't trust the Steelers. They are coming off a bye, but I still don't think the Steelers team is all that good. But just too horrible of a spot for Cleveland here for me to want to trust them, even catching those 6 points. If you do and you end up taking the Browns, you've got bigger stones than I do, apparently, when it comes to that game. Some of the other things. Now, the reason why this trench report is great because it doesn't just tell you about the mismatches and whatnot, about like, hey, which side should you take in a game. You can use this a lot for fantasy purposes, for betting player props. If you go here, it shows you top 5 running game mismatches. So think running back props. I also went through on my own, that Scott doesn't do here, but I went on my own and looked at like the best pass protection, which means cleaner pockets. So you're thinking better chance quarterbacks put up better numbers. I mean, look at CJ Stroud. He's looked terrible all year long. And then last week against the Ravens, had all the time in the world, had a clean pocket. You got to remember, these guys are professionals. They know how to throw the football. And he lit him up. He looked like he knew how to play football again. So I was looking at the quarterback one. I'll go over some of those tomorrow on tomorrow's stream. But top 5 running back mismatch, Rams over the Ravens. Another reason why I like the Rams in this one is because if it is a sloppy, wet game, at least they have an edge running the ball, right? Bills over the Falcons. So think James Cook. James Cook might have himself a day. This one's funny. The Panthers over the Cowboys is the third biggest mismatch. So the Panthers should be able to run the ball there against the Cowboys, but also the Cowboys have an edge over the Panthers. Because you remember, it's your offense versus their defense. So that's how these two are both able to be on the same chart. And then it's the Colts over the Cardinals. I feel like everyone and their mother's going to be on the Colts. I think I might make the Cardinals my dog of the week. I don't know yet, though. But the trench report tells me I shouldn't do that. To be fair, Mariners hadn't been to an ALCS since 2001 either. Could just end up being a magical week to break out of a 24-year slump. That's true. Got to remember that in 2001. My dad's a huge Mariner fan, so I remember that. That was a wild time. I want to see the Mariners go to the World Series. My friends will be obnoxious about it, but be pretty cool for my pops to finally see his team go there. But they're in trouble, man. They're in trouble with how many high intense game last night, a long game. They got to fly across the country, take on the Blue Jays. They burned through a lot of arms, albeit those guys only pitched 1 inning, but still they went out there and pitched. It's going to be interesting to see how they manage their bullpen. They do have an amazing bullpen, arguably the best bullpen in baseball. So they've got the weapons. It's just if they can figure out how to rotate those guys around after having to burn through so many last night. The Panthers are home. I'd lean towards them. If they're visiting, they'll get blown out. They are home, and they have been playing well at home. So Panthers at home, good spot there. Good spot. I just don't know. I don't know if they can keep up with if the Cowboys keep scoring like the Cowboys do. I don't know if the Panthers can keep up, even against the Cowboys' shitty defense. I sent highlights on Insta. It's less than a minute. There's no music either. Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me pull it up. Let me see. There you are. This is what Derp's talking about. Look at that. Look at that. So there's the touchdown, right? And then here's the go for 2. Oh, God, I love that play. Look at that little trickery. You have the running back trying to fool everyone there. I love that. That's freaking awesome, Derp. And what is this, the final play of the game? Hail Mary attempt here. Picked off. Let's go. Let's go, Derp. That's awesome. Congratulations again, buddy. That is awesome. I'm a Diamondbacks fan, but I'm rooting for the Mariners. 2001 was also the year Diamondbacks won the World Series. My senior year in high school. Damn, good year. Fun year then, huh? Graduate and you get the Diamondbacks to win a World Series. That is awesome. Okay. Yeah, Derp, that's awesome. Congratulations. Let's check up on the scores real quick again. And we will be live tomorrow, break down all the NFL stuff. I just wanted to go over some of that trench report stuff with you guys. Let's see, but we do have Indiana up 10-7 on Oregon. God, it's gonna be a fun game. Points. I think Oregon's they score a touchdown here. I don't see how Indiana's gonna stop them today. Oklahoma 3, Texas nothing still. Oklahoma driving. 3rd and 2 at Texas is 28. Texas defense looks like they're playing a lot better than they did last week. Man, I was disappointed. Supposed to be top 5, if not the best defense in the country. And I'm watching them like, of course, the time I come watch you guys live, where the hell are you? You know? Colorado up on Iowa State, 7-0. It's kind of a shocker there. Northwestern just took the lead on Penn State. Embarrassing. And Arkansas up 7-0. I mean, it's early. The opening drive score touchdown. Okay. Tennessee's probably going to answer back real quick. There you have it, folks. There you have it. Just a quick little stream, just a little hour stream today. It was good having Ben on from the Renegades. We'll be back tomorrow morning, though. Full panel of people. Full panel, the Wise Guy Roundtable, breaking down everything. Bring your questions. Bring your fantasy questions, your your betting questions, whatever you want. Bring it. We'll answer your questions. We'll be breaking down every game like we do every Sunday morning, 5 a.m. Pacific. And it should be a fun time with the fellas. And I'll tell you what I like a lot this week. Which kind of scares me, but I think it's going to be a good week. Basically determine the conference this year. We win out games. We win the conference for the first time because it started in 2019 and been dominated by the teams we beat the last 2 weeks. Baby, I hope you win out. Hope you get it done. Anyways, guys, have a good one. Catch you guys tomorrow morning. But until then, good luck, good gambling, and game on.